Hey kids, okay, here we go. I have the woodwind in my hand here. There's a clarinet. We've got the barrel, the mouthpiece, the ligature, the reed is on, and we're going to show you how to make that first sound. And I've got a clarinet to start with because clarinets, you got to know this. If you do it right, the clarinet is going to speak for you really well. It's going to make a great sound. The thing is, the clarinet's kind of like a nasty horse. Nasty horses are like this, and I'm talking about a real horse. If you've ever ridden a horse, if the horse knows that you know how to ride, that you're the boss of the instrument, or in this case, the horse will respond and say, okay, I guess I better do the right things. Nasty horses do this. They go, oh, a beginner. And the beginner player or the beginner rider, boy, you're going to be taken for a ride, and it's not going to be a fun one. My sister, she had that first ride, and she didn't want me to hold the horse, and this horse knew that she was a beginner, and it just took off, and it took her for a ride like you wouldn't believe. I can still remember her screaming as she went. Clarinets are like that. You have to be the boss. The trouble is this, if you do things wrong, and this is that first few weeks of cementing into good habits, the clarinet will play for you wrong, and you'll think you're doing fine. And what happens is, if you cement in the bad habit, even if you think it's the right habit, if you cement it in wrong, the clarinet's going to go, oh, I got one here. And it's going to start to fight you in a few weeks. It'll start out okay, but it'll start to fight you. You don't want that to happen. So we're going to be very specific about what you need to do, kids. Okay, first of all, you have a slope here on the instrument. Put your fingernail facing you. There's my fingernail. Okay, put it about halfway up that slope so that when you look at it, here, I'll turn it this way. When you look at it, your fingernail's about halfway up there. Now, this fingernail on this hand is going to be my top teeth. Your top teeth are going to come up to there and bite the plastic. Not my top lip, my top teeth. Ah, there, I clanked my teeth right on the mouthpiece. That's where you want them. Now, your bottom lip. You ever see those old people? And they I don't know, maybe they have no teeth there or something. Or, hey, Sonny, hey, come on. They got that bottom lip curled in. You need to do the same thing, that bottom lip. Hey, curl the bottom lip in, okay? We don't talk like this a lot. You will one day probably, but curl the bottom lip. Now, you got that? I stuck talking. Okay, whatever. Here we go. Fingernails there. I can put that in. My bottom lip is curled right there. And the rest of I still got that TIU face. Remember we were talking about TIU? TIU. Here it is. Now, you have to have this at the right angle this way. The trouble is, if I have my eyes fixed straight ahead, I can't see it. So your teacher's going to come around to help you, okay? They'll help let you feel what the right angle is. The right angle, I can tell you this though, is about 45 degrees down to the floor. If you're sort of sitting like you're going to stand, imagine this is pointing at your toes. Don't look, because if I do this, well, all of a sudden I'm one of these people, and my neck's going to learn things the wrong way. Fix your eyes. Your teacher's going to help you here. Don't worry. Put it in your mouth. Put it straight out, because we know what straight out looks like. I can actually see it here. But tip it that it starts prying on your teeth. It's sort of like, okay? Don't do that, don't to your teacher. Just like, okay, it's going to pry on your back teeth a little bit. TIU face. And there's the sound that you want, and I'm going to push and make it pretty loud. Clarinets, the instrument pushes back at you. It's a trick. Don't fall for it. It's the nasty horse thing going on. Because I can make that skinny sound. It's like, oh, I'm playing the clarinet. No, you're not. It's going to mess you up. Okay, don't be doing that. You have to put it in your mouth. Find that spot. And you want to find the real sweet spot. That spot that we were talking about, like with the ruler. Okay, for your reed. How much do you take of the instrument to find that sweet spot? If I take too much, you get what's called a squeak. That's not the sound that you want, okay? It's this sound. I find TIU face. And I have everything right, and I want to hold a long, steady note. Okay. Okay, kids, you'll see up on your screen there, I've got a chromatic tuner. Where do you get one? Just Google it. Chromatic, C-H-R-O-M-A-T-I-C, and then the word tuner, T-U-N-E-R. Google it, you'll find a whole bunch of them. They're all free. Pull one up. This is the one that I've pulled up here. It's going crazy right now because it's just picking up my voice, and I'm actually doing different tones with my voice, and it's trying to find the tone. But when you play the clarinet, and this is just a clarinet thing, you have to hit an F sharp. And I'm going to play it for you. You'll see it dial to the F sharp. And I'm pretty steady on that F sharp. Now, what'll happen for some of you, if you don't have a strong enough bite, you're going to be under the F sharp, closer to the F. Look what happens. And that's adjusting how much I'm biting. I went down to the F and back up to the F sharp. That's your teeth biting down. It's like when you had to bite down on your knuckle, and you could feel it a little bit. Now you need to do this, guys, because if you're playing under the pitch and you learn and cement that habit in, it's going to be like you're playing wrong notes. Even though you've got the right fingering, you're going to be sounding so bad out of tune. It's not going to be a pretty story. Can you imagine somebody singing, but they're singing out of tune? You know what that singer sounds like. You don't like listening to that, and unfortunately it's the same with the clarinet. So again, here's that F sharp. You adjust your bite that you can make it go into that tune. Just do it on your own computer at home. As long as you have a microphone, you're fine. Here's that F sharp. There you go. Now, you're going to be taking the instrument home. If you don't find somebody annoyed by your playing, then you are not playing big enough. It's like Happy New Year's big, okay? Don't let your lungs learn playing quietly. You don't want that. The horn's going to fight you, okay? If you don't get sent to the garage, if you don't get sent to the basement, down the street, anywhere else, then you're doing something wrong. I'll show you here what I mean. I'm going to do this at home. Okay, this is going to be so much fun. My son Max, he always takes a nap right after school. Oh my gosh, a little clarinet wake-up call just for him. Here we go. Okay, now, hopefully he's on the couch. We'll walk over right behind him and we'll see what we can do. He's there. Okay, this is gonna be good. He's gonna go nuts when I do it again.
It's you. Yeah, keep going, don't stop.
Come on, Max, you know you love it.